2 videos in 1 week? That's crazy. What's up, guys? This is Sarah X, aka Amazon, and today is finally the day.
Come out! The Black Panther is ready for you!
That's right, today is finally the day Black Panther comes out, and I'm going with Brave Soul Movement at 10:45 to check it out. But before I go, I wanted to upload this conversation that I had with a cosplay special effects photographer, Cospo FX. My friend Vitamin D Cosplay introduced us, and we had a really awesome interview about Black Panther and what to maybe expect from the film and what it means for Marvel to finally be putting the man himself on the big screen. So before you head out to check out the movie, check out this video and see what the buzz is all about. Can you talk a little bit about what you do with your pictures?
With Cosplay Effects, pretty much I am in the cosplay community, a photographer that shoots cosplayers and actually put them in environments via 3D or compositing with visual effects.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And then at the clubhouse you work with the kids, you volunteer here as well?
Yes, I volunteer here at the clubhouse. Pretty much I volunteer as a digital media instructor. So pretty much I teach 3D graphic design, also film production, and also a little bit about broadcasting too.
That's awesome. So you're like super multi-talented. So what got you into cosplay photography? Like what was your first con, or did you meet someone that dragged you into it? What was your story?
Definitely I was going to Wizard World. I can't really remember the first
Chicago?
Wizard World. Yes. And I was, taking pictures like everybody else with their phone. And one day, I also have with the background as a filmmaker, I purchased a DSLR and started practicing shooting video. And that year, actually I ran into a cosplayer, Vitamin D Cosplay.
Funny.
Yes.
Funny how that works out.
Exactly. And it was funny how he came as a Silver Surfer. There was a Marvel group going on in the middle of the floor, and he was taking pictures, and I'm like in awe of what the cosplay was. Just everything from the body paint, just the hard work that he put into it. And so we're out there eating at McDonald's, and while we're talking, sure enough, who's coming down the sidewalk is Vitamin D Cosplay. And walking like the Silver Surfer right into McDonald's. And then I was like, oh, I got a chance, I could take a really good picture because I got an idea. I'm kind of familiar with Photoshop a little bit. I'm gonna try something. And I remember, I'll never forget, he walked in, and these little kids, when they see someone in a cosplay, they get all excited. This one kid was like, is that glitter all over you? He was like, no, it's the power cosmic. I was like, wow. I was like, this guy is really in character. So he was probably my first cosplay photo.
That's really cool.
Yes.
What makes a good cosplay photo to you?
Well, what makes a good cosplay photo, definitely it's the cosplayer. I mean, you can have an awesome costume, but it's all about performance. You gotta sell it. I mean, I could put you in the most amazing background, but you gotta sell that character. You have to bring that character to life. You have to forget about who you really are. You are that character at that moment. I definitely love, besides compositing, if I can, I definitely like to bring some type of cinematograph, some of the photography work that I do.
You're also a comic book reader, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so as far as reading goes, what are maybe like 3 or 4 titles that you just, you read the hell out of, like your go-to?
Now is definitely Black Panther. And that's because, based on who's writing it also. Right now I'm finishing up Black Panther, Nation Under Our Feet, which is by a great American writer named Ta-Nehisi Coates. He writes for the Atlantic paper. He's well known for writing about the political climate of today and dealing with racial issues. That's pretty much like a lot of his articles that he writes in the Atlantic, and there's some other books that he wrote that are just really good.
Since we're on the subject, I obviously wanted to come here and talk about Black Panther.
Okay.
So thoughts, are you excited to see it? You have it planned out? You're already going?
Okay, so yes, I am excited. I'm glad we are counting down to the day of seeing it. Probably, I would say 2 weeks ago. I was getting really worried because, you know, you could be so excited to see something, and no matter, it could be something to be really good, but in your head, you could overhype something so much, and you go see it, and it's a good movie, but then you can walk out disappointed, you know, and you don't want to do that, you know. So it was more of like, okay, calm down, avoid all commercials, everything that deals with Black Panther. Don't look at the spoiler, you know. Don't, you know, and it's like, it's tough.
It's like you gotta talk to yourself and be like, look, this is gonna be trash, so that your expectations are so low that
yeah, you know, that is true. You know, you just kind of gotta say, you know what, sit back, take a breath, and then just say, okay, I'm gonna go. I forgot one movie I did that too recently. Last Jedi.
Oh, you should have talked it down lower.
Okay, so I came across something behind the scenes of Black Panther, and I would just say this: the women in Black Panther have a huge role. And I'm not, no spoilers, because it wasn't a spoiler, but there's scenes you saw in the trailer that, you know, you thought it was just Black Panther in there. You had no idea that the Dora Milaje was there, you know, and oh my God. I'm looking forward to that casino fight scene. Okay, let's start out with behind the camera, Ryan Coogler. You know, I mean, as someone with a filmmaking background, wow. I mean, like, I'll just put it to you this way. There's other filmmakers. I'll sit back and I'll just like, okay, I'm gonna study their style. I'm gonna see if I can figure them out, and I can do that, you know, sometimes. But there's a small group of filmmakers where I try to study it, and I just keep getting lost into the story and forget about, oh, how long was this shot, or, you know, what angle or what lens did they use, and, you know. So it's like, I was just like probably like a month ago, I was trying to like study Creed, and I was just like, okay, I got it, and I got just lost into the story, you know. So definitely looking at Fruitvale Station and Creed, I was like, okay, they picked the right director for this. And definitely his team that comes with him. Because everyone that's been with him since Fruitvale Station, they stay with him. And then you get to the cast. It's like you're in awe. Chadwick, first of all, he did a great job in Civil War. Just being T'Challa outside the costume and carrying that regalness, definitely a great job. It's amazing, the little things you find out about him. Like, you know, he literally went to film school to become a director first. You know, and then he went to, I think he left the country to go to Europe to learn acting, so he could become a better director. And we see what's happening now. Yeah, that's interesting. On top of that, he's a martial artist also. There's a lot of things about him that's similar to T'Challa. So I think that's the perfect cast for T'Challa. Then, you know, you get to Michael B. Jordan. You talk about, look at his career. We're talking about from The Wire, that sci-fi movie, where it was three friends that got this ability to use their telepathic powers. The same director ended up doing Fantastic Four with Fox, and that's how he got enrolled in that. But then I also remember him from Friday Night Lights, the TV show. And then, you know, just to see him come along now, and I'm really excited to see him as a bad guy. You know, this is, you know, he's always like the hero, pretty much the hero in other movies, you know, not so much of Supergirl, but just, you know, in regards to being a character, it's good to see him, you know, become a villain. And I really see how his performance will be. Forrest Whitaker, Angela Bassett, which I thought who should have been maybe Storm instead of Halle Berry, but let's go back to this. Lupita, Dania Guerrera, she's Michonne from Walking Dead. And then Letitia Wright. Just, first of all, I saw her, first time I saw her was in Black Mirror. You ever catch that show on Netflix? Yes, this recent season, I was really impressed. So, I'm really excited to see, you know, this world. I'm really so excited to see the tech of Wakanda.
Oh my God,
yeah,
yes.
It's just, yes. There's like, you know, I mean, it's so much, you know. I'm just like, you know, okay, calm down, we're almost almost there. We're almost there. I really thought that they did a good job, thoroughly, putting this thing together. I mean, I think they're projected to open at 165 million opening day. I mean, because they broke the Fandango record of pre-sales tickets for any superhero movie.
Ever?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's big. It's really big. It's like, they call it movie magic. When something is amazing, it's like lightning in a bottle. You can figure out how to get the success. Like if you do a sequel or something like that, it's kind of hard to redo that. It's like there's only certain things that can bring people out to the theater and stuff like that. But this is like you understand the cast, the people behind the lens, the Marvel universe, but it's like to get this big, and it's like I'm still thinking like, okay, well, I like to figure out what is the formula to this, So, I'm excited. People who are not comic book fans are excited. I literally was talking with my family, and what shocked me was when my own mother said she was going to go see it with her church group, I believe. And
that's awesome.
Right, but I'm thinking, wait, aren't you the same person who threw my comic books away when I was little? Like, where are you going to go see? Or the same person that says, what do y'all do with those Comic-Con events? It's kind of like, it's kind of exciting. You have people that are, that don't know anything, that probably haven't. There's a lot of people that's going to see this movie that haven't seen a single Marvel film. So it's a really breakthrough film culturally. I think that plays a part also.
I think, and I noticed this with Wonder Woman when it came out. Having that representation where like women were seen, it made it more accessible for us to be fans. Do you find that that's the same here? Like there might be kind of a gap that gets closed when you put more representation and diversity out there, where like now there are Black superheroes, now it's more accessible to come to cons, to cosplay, to get into comic books and things like that. Do you feel like there's going to be like any kind of crossover like that?
Yes. So like with Wonder Woman, right? And first of all, I'm gonna say this. Okay. Forget about all the DC movies. Wonder Woman is carrying all the DC movies. I'm just put it there, right there. But yeah, definitely I feel that representation is very important with Black Panther. The thing about it is what's good about Black Panther is as far as representation is, a lot of this movie should hit home that there's a lot of creative talent to invest in films with people of pretty much Black people. And Hollywood, they've had a history of portraying Africa like an impoverished and violent place. And here you're about to see a movie that shows greatness. I mean, that's to sum it all up, just greatness. The timing of it too, as far as representation. Ryan Coogler, Ava DuVernay, Jordan Peele. There's just an onslaught of like Black filmmakers that are just really good, and I really like the box office numbers because it really can put more investment in stories, that deal with just African Americans or people of African descent. You're seeing, just like Wonder Woman, you see the Dora Milaje. Oh my! When the action scenes in there, wow! And this is so funny, not funny, but like, okay, we're used to seeing Dania Guerrero, Michonne, the lady that plays Michonne on Walking Dead. We seen her kick butt. We already used to seeing that. Have you seen Lupita kick butt?
No.
That was so exciting when I saw behind the scenes. That I was like, oh, I gotta see this. It's gonna be really exciting. Like I was excited. Was it the second or third trailer where you finally saw the nanotechnology, like where the suit evolves around him? I was just like really, I was like, oh, because you've seen it in the comic. You're like, oh, they're up to speed, So you're it's exciting to see that. You're wondering, okay, how are they going to do the city of the dead in Wakanda, where pretty much he talks to the past Black Panthers. How much they're going to explore what T'Challa's like outside that suit, you know, because there's a lot of things that's cool about that character that, you know, forget about the vibranium costume, you know, it's like there's just things, you know, without it, you're talking about somebody that has reflexes faster than an actual panther. Someone that has not a Wolverine healing factor, but a decent healing factor. Someone that's highly intelligent.
Yeah, he was in the Illuminati, so.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. When you see Hero brought to the silver screen, you're wondering, oh, you know, I wonder what would they really shine a light on. Can't wait to see it. Definitely, I'm very curious to see, you know, the aftermath of seeing the film. You know, what does it, as far as conversation, well, what happens now? It's great, the symbolism of the movie, but
could you break that down just a little bit? No,
it's a big question. It's like going in so many directions. Well, trying to get too political on the show, but here we go.
You can make it as deep as you want. This is my channel.
Okay, so you know, I'm just trying to make it simple as possible. Okay, let's take Obama. First African American president. There's some people that feel like the African American community probably benefited from that. There are some that didn't, and some feel like it was just a symbolism. The thing about Black Panther is you hoping it's not just a symbolism. You're like, oh, it just made this box office, that's it. You just hope that it starts a dialogue. I really like the spirit of Wakanda. Just the idea of Wakanda, and you're hoping that opens up conversation and doors. And you know what, honestly, to tell you the truth, you could kind of already see that a little bit even before this movie came out. But I'll give you a perfect example. I never thought that Lamar would be getting nominations and stuff for being conscious on a couple of his songs and stuff like that. You know, you can see there's a difference in music, there's a difference in culture, there's a lot of levels of consciousness in all types of entertainment. So Ryan Coogler, Fruitvale Station, touches on certain issues that we're currently dealing with now. A perfect example is African American males dealing with getting killed by police officers, unarmed, you know. So you know there's gonna be a lot of political issues that are situations, symbolism that's gonna be dropped in the movie, but it's more of like, okay, it's like, yay, you know, okay, that was deep. Where do we move on from this now? You just want people to, you know, move on. You know, I'm not move on, but learn from it, get smart. Don't get all happy. Like, I give you a perfect example. I thought that Oprah Winfrey gave a beautiful speech at the Golden Globes. Okay, that was a beautiful speech. And now people are saying, oh, Oprah for president and this and that. Well, this is the thing. I'm cool with that, but you gotta clean up Congress first. You know what I'm saying? You can't put someone, you know what I'm saying? If I say, hey, if you paid attention in junior high, how this country works, you just can't have someone. You gotta have the support there in Congress, you know. So, you know, you gotta get out and, you know, handle your business. You just can't get all happy, you know. It's like, you know, put in work to make a change for the world. Bottom line.
Yeah, I think from what I've noticed and kind of what I want my channel to be about is using creativity and stories and, you know, the arts to help elevate yourself to your higher form of being, you know, without getting too religious or anything like that. But I think that there are certain things that are breakthroughs, and I think this push right now towards Black creativity is definitely going to be one of those. Just like women creativity, it's not just how this one group of people sees you, but it's also how you see yourself. And I would hope that, you know, these creative changes will put it in our minds that we can make changes in other places, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, before Wonder Woman, before Black Panther, you kind of already see signs of it in this current generation. Even there's people of past generations that are just tired of the way, you know, things have been going. They just want to make a change. So you kind of already seeing it, you know, and it's like it's kind of like it's catching on fire, you know. So we're, you know, yeah, you know, there's hope. There's just definitely a lot of hope for, you know, definitely what's to come.
Yeah.
Wait, one thing too. If you honestly, like, really just look at the trailer. Well, I mean, you haven't seen the movie yet, but if you really look at the trailer, do you know how many costumes you can do for cosplay? You just go to the waterfall fight scene. And you just see that it's just it's a library of costumes you can just run with, you know.
You got your 28 days right there.
Exactly. Yeah, you do. You got 360, 365. That's what you got. But just look at the trailer. Just think about how many costumes T'Challa changes in, and not only him, the supporting cast actually changed costumes. You know, I gotta tell you, I would love to see some cosplayer pull off that Black Panther costume, where they got some type of light going on through the costume. You know, wow, and it's possible. It's possible. You know, but definitely.
So we're taking submissions for T'Challa.
We're taking submissions for Black Panther. This movie is, you know, it really is like God sent for black cosplayers. You know, there's like cosplayers that had to deal with, oh, Superman's not black. You know, Wonder Woman's not black. You know, but like I said, you got a whole library of costumes you just pull from. I mean, yeah, I'm taking submissions. Black Panther. I definitely want to do that. Another hobby of mine. I've collected every art book of every Marvel film that has been released over the past 10 years.
That's so...
Yeah, so it's like inspiration to, you know, okay, I could put them in this background, you know, and I'm really excited for that Black Panther delivery. I'm really excited for that book. When they said the film was going to be created, I was like, oh my God, how can you make Wakanda... you know, you've seen it in the comics, you've seen it on cartoons, video games, you know, but it's like, what does it really look like? You know, and I'm really excited just to see the artwork, because there's some things that never really, you'd be surprised, there's some things that never make it into the Marvel movies that are just beautiful concept art, you know, so I'm definitely excited for that.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks for joining my show and for all of your insight.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for joining me, guys. Well, I gotta run. I got a movie to catch. Amazon, out.